Hi everyone, so today we're going to continue on with part 2 of our paper mask project. We want to make the eyes today and the eyelids, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do that. So let's look at our mask. So you had cut out a triangle at both the bottom and the top, you overlap them, you put glue on it, and you paper clipped it to hold it in place. You can remove the paper clip now because it's probably dry. And then we added a nose. And your nose was supposed to be 3D. It was supposed to be popping off of the face right here. So you put a little glue at the top, you put a little glue on the sides of the nose, and you make sure that you glue the nose really close to the fold. You don't want the sides of the nose to be where my thumb is right now, because that would mean that your nose is flat instead of protruding out. You really want to see it popping out. When you glue on the nose, you made sure that you actually glued it near the middle, kind of towards the bottom. You want to leave room for the mouth, you want to leave room for eyes, eyebrows, and a forehead. So you want to make sure that you have enough room to do that. Now when you're ready for the eyes, you need to get some scrap paper. You need some white scrap paper, you need some black scrap paper, and you need a color for the inside of the eyes. So whether you choose blue or hazel or brown, that's up to you. So I'm gonna stick with brown for now. I have brown eyes. So let's take we're gonna take our scrap, move that out of the way for a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's take our white paper. So we wanna make the white part of the eye. We will fold it in half, and then we're gonna cut a football shape. We're folding the paper in half so that when we cut one football shape, we end up with 2 football shapes. So I make a curved line down and then a curved line up. And that gives me my eye shape. I want to make it as big as I can, having the least amount of scraps. When I'm finished with it, I want to make sure that I open it like a book. When I open it like a book, it becomes symmetrical. The right side looks like the left side. So you want to be aware of that, and then I would lay it down. Now you want to do the iris. The iris is the colored part of the eye. I chose brown. Again, you're going to fold it in half, and you're going to cut the largest circle that you can. Your scissors are kind of like a pencil. You don't need to draw anything at this point. We don't want any pencil marks, and you just cut your circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just try to make it as large as you can. Again, open it like a book. It becomes symmetrical. Right side looking like the left. And then our last step is to make the pupil. So again, fold the paper, have your scissors become like your pencil, and then you can make your pupil as small or large as you want, depending on the look you want for your eyes for your paper mask. And again, open it like a book, and then place it where you want. I'm gonna take these scraps, I'm gonna throw them away. And now I'm going to use my Elmer's glue to glue down my eye. So if I take it off, I want to make sure I flip it over. I want to do good gluing with little dots of glue around the edges, not too much coming out. I can take that cap and I can adjust how much glue comes out. And I glue the brown for the iris. And then I glue the black for the pupil, and I want my eyes looking up. So I'm gonna put it in the corner there. I'm just gonna glue one for now so you can see that. Now, where do I put the eye on the mask? So flip it over, put a little bit of glue here, and then I can decide where I want it. So I'm going to put it right just above the bridge of the nose. Not too close to the fold, not too far away, but about maybe like a ½ inch from the fold. And I'm gonna press down. And you can see where it goes. Now, the eyelid part. You have 2 choices for what you want to do with eyelids, and I'm gonna show you both. One is 2-dimensional and one is 3-dimensional. So if I wanna do the 2-dimensional eye, I would do just like I did before, finish my eye, put my dots of glue, on the brown, glue that on, and then I would put my dots of glue on the pupil, put that on, and now I want the eyelid. Now, when you had your scrap originally from your big piece, you cut this in half, and one part of this half went to making the nose. So you would actually have 3 parts left over. So you can take the part that is still stuck together and make 2 eyelids. So I can cut off this extra scrap. I don't really need it anymore. And I want to make my eyelid bigger than the width of the eye. So I can decide to make a slightly curved line down. And this is almost as big as that football shape, so this will work out perfect. I open it like a book. I put glue on the eyelid part, and you're like, Mrs. Corson, this doesn't look like an eyelid, it's got a triangle shape. Well, you'll see what I do. I put the eyelid where I want it. How high up or how low do I want it? I'm gonna go right there, and now I flip it over. You should really wait for this to dry, but time is of the essence here, so I'll show you. I'm going to then trim where the white part of the eye is. Once I do that, the eyelid will fit perfect. And you can see now I have my eyelid. So that's one way I can do an eyelid if I want. If I want a 3-dimensional eyelid, and I'll show you an example of that. So you saw the 2D, what that looks like. If you want the 3D eyelid, which looks like this, where it's actually popping off the page, you would have those 2 pieces that were stuck together, right? And then you would make them the same, 2 pieces the same, by cutting like a crescent moon shape. So I need that rainbow shape on top, or a semicircle, and then like a rainbow shape on the bottom. And you can make the eyelid as big or small as you want. I would say bigger the better. Again, open it like a book, so that way it's symmetrical. And now the key to making it pop out is you have to curl this piece of paper. So it can't be flat, but you're gonna put it in between your pointer finger and your middle finger, curve it down to the left, and curve it down to the right. Now you have that slight curve. What you're going to do is take your glue, put a little bit of glue on the top, just going along the top of that rainbow or eyelid, and then you would place it on. Now I wouldn't place it on until I first glue down my eye, so I know where to put it. And that's how you do the eyelids, right? So you have a 3D eye that you can put, or you can do the 2D eyelid. You can make this eyelid any shape you want. Now some kids, maybe you want to make it into a girl paper mask and you want to have these cool eyelashes coming out. You could certainly do that too. So you need black scrap paper, and you could do eyelashes a number of ways. I can cut individual really thin rectangles, and I could even curl them if I want, right? Obviously this is a really long eyelash, but you get the point, where I would glue it right to the bottom of the eyelid there, and I would have a lot of these eyelashes, or I could stick them going up. And again, this is really long, but you can trim it and make it the size you want. So that could be one way to add on an eyelash, or either glue it up, but again, you're gluing it to the bottom of the eyelid or pointing it down. And even if you did a 3-dimensional eyelid, you can add these there. Now, if you didn't want to do individual eyelashes like that, maybe you take a long strip of paper and you kind of like make almost like a zigzaggy line. Almost like waves in the ocean. Oops. Let's see. Try to go a little faster here. But you get the point, where I'm cutting these like zigzags. And then I can glue on my eyelashes, you know, this way, where they would be glued to the bottom there. And again, I could fit them even here too. They could be 3D, or they could actually be flat. That's up to you how you want to make them. You don't have to make eyelashes. It's just a personal choice. So that's how you make your eyes and eyelids.